everyone. Welcome back to my little studio rants. I don't know what to call these. I guess my art vlog or creativity vlog. I'm just checking to make sure this is recording. I'm a little paranoid that it's not, but I think it is. So we'll keep it going. If you made it this far, thank you. If you're coming back, thank you. I don't take that for granted. It's a small little tribe we've got here, but we're small but mighty. And I am very honored to have you feast your eyes upon my bald scalp. So, we're freshly shaved for this event. Not really. I kind of keep it a little trim, but that's not why we're here, is it? We're here for my meanderings, my musings, and whatever. I don't know why we're here, to be honest. We're here because I'm flailing and I'm just trying anything I can to get my art and out into the world, and also get stuff off my chest. So here we are. One thought that kind of keeps coming up in my mind is this, am I an artist or is this a hobby? That's kind of a daunting thought to have as someone who would like to consider themselves to be an artist, because a hobby kind of indicates that it's a fleeting kind of passion. It's like a tinkery thing. It's something you're doing to fill time on the weekends, and it's something that you're kind of dabble in, and you just kind of have a passing interest in that, or at least that's kind of the vibe I get when I hear the term hobbyist. And an artist, on the other hand, has a lot with it as well. It's like, oh, you're respected, or you're honing your craft. This is an endeavor for a lifetime. You have collectors. You know, there's a lot of prestige and a lot of kind of validation that comes with the term artist. And it's always a ongoing tension to, as someone who would like to consider themselves an artist, or someone who practices art, to the tension is always like, am I a real artist? You know, it's like, well, this is real art and that's not real art. You know, especially in the beginning, there's a lot of like, oh, that's not real art. This is real art. There's a lot of like kind of, I guess what they would say nowadays is a gatekeepery mentality towards what is art, because it's such a protected thing. You got to protect the art and the artist, and like it means something. Like when you die, there's someone there like, yes, you were a real artist, or you weren't a real artist. You know it, and apparently that plays out through time as well. You know, what significance did your art play? Did you have any significance in the time that you were making your art? Did your art push culture forward, or did it just hold it back? You know, there's a lot of political motivation with art, you know, and I don't really want to take away from that, or I kind of speaking a little cavalier about that, because partly out of insecurity, to be honest, you know, because one would hope they would push boundaries or change the world with their art. I mean, that is something that would be great, and something I would have loved to have accomplished, or possibly accomplish at some point. That said, that can really hold you back, and that's held me back quite a bit, mentally, and that's all in my own head. And again, this part of this whole thing of me talking to the camera is just to get this stuff out of my head a little bit. And there's not, you know, I can talk anyone's ear off about it, but I'd rather it be you're deciding to listen to this, you know, so it's just nice to get it say it out loud or something. I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's just it's a thought or a topic I kept thinking about. But anyway, back to artists versus hobbyists. So, as I've stated in previous episodes of this, I don't know if I want to call this episodes or vlogs or podcasts. I have no idea. Anyway, I've kind of indicated, that you want to be considered an artist, but I've gone to a point that does it matter? Is that up to us? You know? And okay, so what's the dreaded hobbyist? Am I a dreaded hobbyist? Is this a fleeting? Because in all earnestness, I do have a full-time job. I work, you know, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, roughly here or there. 8 hours definitely. And I have the weekends off, and generally I do most of my work on the weekends. I do a lot of it during the week, but it's only at an hour at a time here and there. So I wish it was more, but that's what I have in the tank. Because again, I also have a family and other things I need to do around the house. So so does that make me a hobbyist? I don't know. I don't feel like that, because art is been a constant in my life. I've always been doing it. I've been showing everywhere. I've been like posting all the time my art. No, I think that's just a hang up I have. And it's partially through insecurity or perfectionism. That's another thing I want to talk about is perfectionism, because that's another thing that can really hold me back, is just everything having to be in its right place and being perfect every time. And as the years gain on me, I'm seeing the chinks in the armor, or the kinks in the armor of perfectionism, because it's never going to be perfect. It's just not. And I don't want perfectionism to hold off what could be good. And a lot of the times things I thought weren't great that I've shown or put out have had more of an impact than things I thought would be really good, so it just boils down to, it's just not up to you, and you just need to show up and do the thing. And that is the mantra. And just like with these videos, is this a perfect video? No. Have half the people probably already turned this off? Yes. Am I going to put it out anyway? Yes. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But it feels right. It feels like I got to, right? Sometimes you just have this feeling that I'm recording this direct to my computer, and it likes to turn off on me because I have some type of, make sure it's still recording. It is. Sorry for that. I should probably turn off my screen dimming thing or whatever, but maybe I'll just wiggle the mouse around every so often for now. Anyway, I lose track of my thought. But yeah, why am I doing this? I have no idea. But I have an urge to do it. I have a little voice in my head saying do it, so I'm doing it. And luckily, I got a very small audience, so I don't feel like this is, going to go viral or anything. I'm not going to be too insecure about it. But yeah, and partially, I want to speak to other creatives that are out there that are feeling hung up in self-doubt and self-criticism as well, because you're not alone, and I felt like that for a long time. And I know there's a lot of creative people. I've met a lot of creative people. We're all going through this together, and as we get older and life gets in the way, we shouldn't let that determine what value we can bring and what value we can serve towards our own endeavor or our own, what's speaking to what makes us tick, you know. And I just want to talk to those artists out there, or creatives, or anyone that's you know, if you have a book in mind or a song or what have you, and you're nervous about putting it out in the world because of some gatekeepery asshole that's going to have his arms crossed, or the one in your head that's even worse. The one in your head is way worse than what's probably out there. Just do it anyway, you know. Just do it anyway. And it feels good. Like doing these videos feels pretty good, you know. I'm sure at some point I'm gonna get some nasty snarky comment and whatever, you know. Like, I'm sure it'll hurt my feelings. I'm sure I'll overthink it, but you know, there are a lot of people that won't do that and will be supportive. So that's for them. This is for them, you know. And ultimately, it feels kind of good to get this shit off my chest. I'm trying not to swear because it'd be nice if who cares? Who gives a fuck? Anyway, but yes, so I've done some work. I'm gonna unveil the latest. Now I have a little time lapse. I'll probably like try to splice in here at some point. Maybe I'll do that now. Damage it before. Okay, here we go. Here we are. Let's see if I can square it up. It's really hard to do this mirrored. There we are. Of course, the lighting in here is not the best. Let me try to get this going. Get this light. This light's being fickle. There we are. I'll try to splice in some better images of this. But yeah, here's my latest painting. I believe it. I forget what size this is. to say 16 by 18 or something like that. I don't know. I've got it written down somewhere. A little bit different from last week's painting. This is a little bit more straightforward Halloween. Yeah, just a Halloween vibe going here. And I had the idea of, okay, it's the last night of the Halloween month. It's last night of October. It's almost midnight. It's almost November 1st even. And you look out your window and this is there. Is it a trick-or-treater that just stayed out too late? Looks a little too tall to be a trick-or-treater. I don't know. I don't think it is. Is it someone playing a prank? Or is it something else entirely? I don't like the way those eyes are glowing. Anyway. Thanks for being patient about that. Oh God. Me trying to come up with this. What am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Anyway. Yeah, so I just had this scene. I saw it in my head and I put it on a painting. There we go. That's as simple as that. And the cat here is an homage to my passed on cat this past November, the Count. I had a beautiful, long-furred black cat that I lovingly named the Count. And I loved him very much, and he passed on. And this is a little bit of a homage to the Count. So he lives on in the painting. It's not exactly fully Count. I could have bushed out his tail a little more. The Count was pretty bushy, but it serves the purpose. Yeah. And I've got a beautiful glowing jack-o'-lantern here. I want to paint way more jack-o'-lanterns. I just love painting them. They're just so much fun. Got some fall leaves and just a vibe. And for those that know that I made a score to a painting. This is the painting I made the score to. Yeah, I've got a lot of different vibes in the song that I started hearing a song as I was painting this, so I decided to make a score for this painting. So I'll put that out soon. I'll let you all know once that's available. I'm debating whether or not to have a separate Spotify artist account for this video, for this YouTube channel, or just have it a part of my musical entity by candlelight. It'd probably be easier just to do it by candlelight, but my score stuff is quite a bit different. By candlelight is definitely more heavier, kind of, alternative metal type of stuff, whereas my score stuff is more, vibey. And God, why am I saying words like vibey? Yeah, you try making these videos and try not to sound like an idiot. Good luck. It's not gonna happen. You're just gonna sound like an idiot like me. I want to be cooler than this, but I'm not, so here I am. But anyway, new painting. Hope you like it. I will have prints available. I am selling prints of this at Wicked New England on May 3rd, and I will also have prints available through either, if I decide to go with Etsy, my Etsy account, or you can message me through Instagram. I haven't decided how I want to go about that yet, but I hope you like the painting. I had a lot of fun making this. I'm hoping to maybe splice some footage in with the new song. Actually, you might even be hearing it in the background here. So a lot of the music that I have in the background of this is all my own music, just so you all know. Any of my videos where you hear background music or whatever, that's stuff I've done. I've had a project called Infant where I did just instrumentals. So I've done that for a while. My latest project is by Candlelight, which is more of a kind of, industrial alternative post-punk type of vibe. Yeah, so I kind of live in both those worlds. And you know what? At this point, like I was speaking about before, like who cares? Maybe they'll all just live in the same thing by candlelight. I was also thinking about. So here's a side thing, and I want to hear what you all think about this. So at the fair, I'm gonna go buy Todd Kramer art, and my entity throughout, it's gonna be Todd Kramer art, right? So that's gonna be my storefront name or what have you. But I'm a little nervous at just like, Todd Kramer art, like Todd, like I like my name fine, but like you just think of this like, oh, Todd, like you think of a guy. Sure, I'm wearing a cardigan, but you think of a different type of cardigan. Think of this preppy dude or something like, oh, I'm Todd. Like Todd Kramer art. It just doesn't have a ring to it. So I'm debating between that and coming up with like a shop entity name. And I've also floated around the idea of, well, maybe By Candlelight would be a good name or my art entity name as well. So everything is umbrellaed under By Candlelight. That said, I found out that there is a YouTuber out there that goes by Candlelight, who's in this, goth culture and things of that nature. Cool channel. I really like it, but I don't want to like compete with that. It's just hard to know, and I want to have something a little bit more interesting than Todd Kramer art. But maybe that's fine. Who cares? It's a lot easier, just go with Todd Kramer art. Again, this is how one overthinks. This is a master class in overthinking. But for this event, right now, I'll just go with Todd Kramer art, just so I can keep things going, because I do not want to start from scratch. But maybe I will. But let me know what you think. Should I keep Todd Kramer art, or should I come up with a new name? For like, selling my art or what have you, or getting my art out there. Oh, why am I asking? Anyway. But thank you all for sticking around. If you made it this far, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. I was told that helps these things, and yeah, I'm not trying to fail at it, but I don't really care either. No, I care, but I don't care. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Till next time, stay creative.